Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Shogun 2 A Total War. Where last time, we began our preparations for Realm Divide by launching a naval war against the Hojo. And as a result today, we need to turn our attention from sea back to land, because, yes, this here is my first big target. The island of Shikoku, belonging entirely right now to the Chosokabe, and I'm so sorry guys, because me and you have been very chill so far. But sadly, you need to go down, because you've got, yes, ports and training facilities just way too nearby to my home territory. But before we go in, we need to figure out, yes, 1, where to attack, and 2, how much these guys have got waiting for me. Because, yeah, obviously, we don't want to be attacking this city here, full of a gigantic army. That would be an incredibly bad idea. Down here, however, in Tosa, okay, if there wasn't much guarding this location, that would be ideal. Because, yeah, this is a good fortress, we could hold out in ourselves once we've taken it, and yeah, in general, this is a nice province to have. It's got the wood resource in it, which right now we're only getting by trading with the Chosokabe. So when we attack them, yeah, hitting their territories that have got good resources in them, that'd be ideal. So that's wood down here, or stone up in this direction. So, okay. I'm gonna say, step 1, let's use our priests as spies. We'll send them over, start Christianizing the area, and at the same time, figure out precisely what's located where. So here we go. We've actually got, yeah, Sanuki right here. Completely unguarded, in possession of the stone resource, which is not a bad resource to have at all, so, okay. That's barely over the water from my troops. We could just walk in, take that, and then basically, yeah, this army would probably come and try and attack me to take it back, because I was literally invading Shikoku. And that's what I want. Obviously, we don't want to be attacking these guys in their cities. We want to take the undefended cities and then lure them into attacking us, so they've got to throw themselves into their own defenses. If we're doing that, though, we also need to figure out, yeah, how many armies we're going to commit, because right now, Realm Divide hasn't started, but I am at war with, you know, the Hojo and also the Takeda. So we've got to maintain some armies around here in case somebody rocks up unexpectedly, though they shouldn't be able to. I've got, like, you know, ninjas guarding this spot over here. I've got good control of the sea. And if I control the water, obviously they can't ship troops over to me. And we do need to factor in, these guys next door, they do not like me. In fact, at some point, they actually cancelled the trade agreement between me and them. So, yeah, they could attack me too. Oh, and one other thing I did realise, by the way, which is, yes, in my economic heartland, right now, we've still got a bunch of basic chapels, and they're not terrible buildings, all things considered. You know, they do increase the rate at which you learn a certain art. They increase town growth a little bit too. But yeah, honestly, at this point, probably we'd be better off at tearing down some chapels, given, yes, the entire population is 100% Christian, and replacing them with some actual income-generating buildings. So yeah, we'll just knock you down and knock you down too, my friend. And the next turn, we can build something much more interesting. And yeah, once we understand precisely how bad the situation is over here in terms of number of armies, etc., etc., then we'll figure out how many armies we want to commit to this assault, because, while we're not actually at war with everybody, there's a good argument for sending, you know, our main army over the water to destroy these guys absolutely thoroughly. Oh, and speaking of which, Bison are right. My encampment's done. I enjoy the encampment. The encampment's great, because the encampment is not just a really good building. It's also a building that can evolve in all sorts of really bloody interesting ways. So you can add armor to troops that are being trained here, or alternatively, increase accuracy, obviously better if you're training archers. Then melee attacker, that's not bad either. Replenishment rate even bloody further, if you think this place is going to be under attack constantly or something. And then, yeah, charge bonus, relevant of course mostly for cavalry. So, okay. the two that stand out, obviously, are the armory, given that would stack with the armorer right here, so we could get up to, like, +4 armor, which is just slightly ludicrous. Or alternatively, yeah, the dojo. So as a result of that, I'm going to have a +2 armor and +2 melee attack on all units that are being trained here. And I think that's the better option, actually. I'm going to go for that. Like, bonus armor and bonus melee attack. Oh, that means my samurai are going to be tough, and also striking back against my enemy very, very hard indeed. So yeah, we'll get that underway too. And before we get time moving along here, okay, we're not quite 100% done with the Hojo yet. They've got more fleets floating about, and yeah, you better flipping a run, you stupid losers. So, where did they just go? It's very annoying that sometimes they literally disappear beyond where you could see before you could zoom out to see where they've actually bloody gone. Though I will admit, there is the Takeda Navy here, which I could also scare off, which would mean, as a result of that, I could resume trade with the Iko-Iki, which is hilarious. So, okay, just move like a little bit in this direction. See if we can find the... There you cocking are! Oh no, 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 no. You're more important. You're not getting away, my friends. Oh, you poor bastards. This fleet isn't even in good condition. It's already taken a bit of a battering. Oh, and you know what? Just for fun, let's do this a fight at night. Which normally means, of course, the reinforcements come in. Which isn't relevant on this occasion, but, you know, on top of that, fire arrows and cannon fire are very pretty at night. Okay, tragically no islands on this occasion, even though we were very close to the shore, which you can see in the distance over there, which is delightful. But yeah, honestly, I don't think we need it. We're going to be just fine. Wind's on our side, and we're the attackers, though, honestly, there's a good chance, yeah, they'll have no choice but to come to us, given they know full well I can move just inside cannon range and then start shelling them. And seriously, naval fights at night are gorgeous because you get these lovely glowing lanterns and whatnot. It's just beautiful. So, okay. They've got a whole bunch of, yeah, wounded ships on the left of their line. Looks to me like, yeah, I think they've got the stronger ones on the right. So, okay, we'll sweep in on the left, mop up these guys and get them to break, and then we can just swarm the rest. And here we go. It looks like they've started moving in. We've started opening a fire with our ships too. So, okay, let's just zoom in and enjoy these guys sailing into the dark fog as cannon fire and fire arrows return out of it and absolutely tear them to shreds. Oh, and here we go. The cannon fire comes in. Seriously, this game is gorgeous at night, and it's about to get a lot more gorgeous because, yes, all these guys could really do to me at the end of the day is either board or toss fire arrows at my European ships. So we're not going to be letting them do that. We're just going to be sending in our small bow platforms right now. Move my little medium ships in the way. We're going to be doing war cries. We're going to be doing fire arrows. We're going to be making sure these guys cannot do a thing to me. So everyone just goes in, out of the way, takes care of you. You guys are very unhappy, very on fire. And yeah, these ships have got way ahead of everybody else because obviously these ships are faster, like little marine carriers. They're very fast indeed. Everyone else, though, not going to be doing so hot. So you could just focus over here. These guys are now going the other side of me, and guys, I'm going to be honest. It's not a good idea. Because that just means you're now, you know, in line for, yes, a broadsider from the other direction. Well done, you stupid losers. And okay, we need to pull our own ships back a little bit because, yes, they are trying to set our big ships on fire. And that's a good tactic. Well done them, all things considered. Like, that's really all they could possibly do. Let's also just make sure we're using war cries, hitting these guys, moving you in too, to continue laying down some fire. But yeah, we don't need to worry too much about a small fire. The men can put that out, that's fine. Yeah, at this point, straight away, their ships are starting to panic. Rout, we could just start surrounding them, concentrating a fire on any unit that's looking a bit dicey. There we go. You're routing. Chase everyone else off too. And yeah, they've done a better job of getting around us on this occasion. They gotta just charge forward with everything they've got. But at the end of the day, there's just nothing they could do to actually take out these European ships. Setting them on fire, good call. That's the best they've got, but yes, don't you worry, my guys can put that fire out as time goes by. There we go. You guys just focus on repairing for a moment. So yeah, the ship can't actually fire or do anything for the time being. But it does mean, yeah, these guys will focus on just putting out that fire. Which is fine in a world where I've got plenty of other ships. So, okay, at this point we're just chasing them all down. Lovely. So I'm pretty sure we captured a few ships on this occasion, but less than sometimes. Also, guys. How about we all just break out, yes, some more fire arrows, just to set them on fire too. Because it annoys me, they just set me on fire. So yeah, even with that fire, we took like one casualty, and the ship is basically fine. Like, yeah, these ships are really cocky tanky. They could take a little bit of light fire. They do not care. And on top of that, okay, we've captured another 5 units. The others appear to have, yes, just sunk. Because, obviously, those guys had already fled. By the way, nav off from the Iko-Iki port. Alright, I need to trade with those guys. And yeah, those survivors and captured ships, just get them back to safety. You know, a proper military port where we can repair them all up. That's fine. And okay, the Hojo humiliation might not be quite over yet either. We've got another massive fleet right down here and... okay, on this occasion they've decided they do want to fight. I wouldn't, guys, seriously. Still, we now know that, yeah, these guys do have the fire arrow technology, so, as a result of that, potentially, we can choose to fight in the rain if we're the attacker, and thus at the weather conditions, because, okay, that does mean flaming arrows can't be used, but also gunpowder weapons. Now, I know that would affect, say, matchlock platforms, presumably that affects cannons as well, so... you know what? Let's just see what the game gives me on the last go. Fine. Dry is a-okay. And here we go. The first attacks come in. We've immediately got a... oh, that's a trade ship. Oh, I think we've caught some of their trade ships out of position. Oh, no. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. That's really sad for you, actually. That's not even a fighting ship. That ship's just there to, like, you know, make money and whatnot. So, alright. Spin my main guys around here. And yeah, all you guys are really doing is creating a barricade so that, yes, their ships can't get fire arrows onto mine. And then we just open a fire on anything that comes in this direction. Beautiful. And, oh dear. Already, you guys are not so happy, as it turns out. Right, deploy everyone forward. No reason for you guys not to crack out flipping fire arrows. We might be able to break someone immediately, so... oh, yeah. That ship is very, very on fire, by the way. We might have slightly overdone it in terms of that one. So, okay, you guys then just turn around. You guys just continue firing on anything that catches your fancy. A jab. They'll basically just be walking straight into a cooking meat grinder. You've routed. You have already, hang on, you've actually not routed, but yeah, we're going to be firing on you from every direction. You're wavering, you've got friends routing nearby, you're not going to be happy about this. They have managed to get my cooking ship on fire again, which is very impressive, all things considered. But yes, as we saw previously, that kind of doesn't matter in a way. Like, this guy could just tank it, it's fine. And in just a second, we'll be ready for a second round of fire arrows. Good. Good. Right, let's get this guy just breaking, if you be so kind. He is not happy because so much fire coming in right there. You get back a bit, buddy. You're being fired upon a bit at the moment, which I don't like. You guys just get in over here too. And yeah, at this point, we've pretty much just got them swarmed. You just fall back, do some repairs, that's fine, no trouble, friends, no trouble. But yeah, they're desperately trying to get onto my big main ships to, like, you know, hit them, break them, set them on fire, etc, etc. But in doing so, they're just charging us straight into fire arrows, so they break for that reason. That's fine. So yeah, you guys just drop your anchor, do some healing, that's all fine. So at this point, yeah, the rest of the fleet is basically done. I will admit, though, the fact they have managed to, yes, set my ship on fire a couple of times in a row does make me think at some point we're going to need something a little bit bigger, tougher, and nastier as a front line than just floating boat platforms. Like, they're great for just swarming the enemy, setting them on fire, etc, etc. But yeah, we're going to need something a bit meatier to act as a shield between my European ships and the front line. I'll tell you what though, these battered units we've just captured here, they might potentially be of use to me. Because honestly, I kind of don't care if they, like, you know, live or die or whatnot. I've got plenty of troops already in terms of the Navy. But they could be extremely useful as spies to keep an eye on, yes, the Chosokabe. Such as, you know, break off one useless ship in every direction and see what precisely is going on here. Because all of a sudden, I've got a much better view as to what's going on round here. I'm only seeing one big Chosokabe army, which feels nowhere near enough for, yes, a faction that's got, like, you know, this much territory on a very hard difficulty. They should be able to afford at least 2 full stacks, probably more. But yeah, I can only see one army up here. Then you are somewhat but not hugely well guarded. But yeah, the soft underbelly is this side. Maybe they've got more over here, because yeah, they own this bit of land as well. Maybe they've got a full stack army over there, I'm not sure. In fact, you know what? Let's flipping find out, though. Okay, never mind. It turns out there's nothing there either. Well, on the plus side, I think I now know where we want to attack, potentially. Right cooking here. This has got to be the right spot for it, though. Okay. If we're thinking of attacking the Chosokabe imminently, then yeah. We need to get our fleets back to home territory. Because the Chosokabe fleets need to be in a position where we can absolutely annihilate them, sink every single last boat before we even think about this. Otherwise, they represent too much danger to my trade fleets and whatnot. In terms of economy, meanwhile, right. Tosa is worth a lot more to them than anywhere else. Pretty much every other territory is like half the value. In fact, blimey. You guys do not have much of an economy, do you? But yeah, here's what I'm thinking. Primary army, which is, I think, yes, about to grow with even more samurai and whatnot. They're going to move over the water and attack Sanuki. Alright, we've got... Well, actually, hang on. We don't have a great port around here. There is a good port here that we could use to load up our troops, so that's good. Then, yeah, land them at Sanuki, take it the following turn. This army here cannot make it to Sanuki in one turn. They just can't. So that's positive right there. They could, however, make it to Tosa. So what I'm thinking is, we attack Sanuki and invade right here, threatening them straight away. They will respond by sending their army to try and get to Sanuki and intercept me. At which point, army number 2 swings in and seizes Ayo. We take half their territory and all the northern territory in one single move. The following turn, yeah, we can move straight down to Tosa and Awa. Because, yeah, with the roads upgraded, we can probably make that journey in a single turn. In terms of their fleets, I think they've just got 2. Which look, yeah, pretty basic right here. So what we need to do really is, yeah, get our main fleets back home. We've done very well against the Hojo here, but it's time to, yeah, bring the main fleets home and destroy what the Chosokabe have got. When I talk about that secondary army, by the way, that's a bit of a theoretical secondary army. Because I can't leave, like, you know, my front line completely unguarded. We need some troops around here. Because, yeah, sooner or later, when we attack the Chosokabe, we're going to trigger realm divide. When that happens, everybody's going to be coming. So, okay, we've got some Portuguese troops here. They can just start moving northwards. That's absolutely fine. And, yeah, they could just join up with... hang on. Are we ready to actually do... Oh, we're ready to start training Yari cavalry. Okay, well, obviously we're doing that. Yari cavalry are hilarious. And then, yeah, we've got a decent number of somewhat decent troops right here at Aki. Need to put together, like, you know, a small secondary army. How's your public order? Oh, your public order's fine. Iwami definitely needs to have, yes, a handful of troops here, just to keep those guys guarded, though. Okay, we've also finished the gold mining structure. Though, yeah, we need a bit of money to get the next one up and running. Nagato probably doesn't need all those troops, so yeah, we could put together, like, you know, a little bit of an army out of various garrisons that aren't quite so necessary anymore. But yeah, if we bring all these guys together with troops in Bingo, together with, yeah, some remnants from Bichu, we can have a good garrison here at Bison, especially given Bison, okay, they're actually moving up towards a castle, so that's a decent garrison and some good defenses as well. But we do also need, do not forget, yeah, a fleet to move those troops around. Then again, actually, you know what? One boat can move an entire army. So if we're just kind of getting them from point A to point B in a single movement, that's fine. Right, you, get your army into position immediately. In fact, can you just load up this boat right now? Okay, you know what? Get him in the boat. That's a-okay. That boat's nice and safe inside the port. Then we just send, yeah, a secondary general up towards Bison. That is plenty enough to keep those guys defended for now. Though Bichu needs a fair few troops to stay calm because, yes, this territory is not really properly Christian yet, is it? No. No, it's not. So, okay. We will put together a second army. That's fine. We're just pulling them together right now. In fact, John. You know one way you could get troops? You could Koki train them. And even better, don't forget, these are actually improved morale troops we could get going on here. Though, to be honest, John, you may be getting a bit ahead of yourself here, because do you really want to do this when one of your primary fleets is all the way over here? You know what? We've got plenty of fleets already, like, you know, doing their job already. That's another cooking new European ship right there, just to add to the cooking pile, so... you know what? I think we're fine, actually, yes. Put all these fleets together, we could deal with the Chosokabe. So, okay. Keep time moving along here, get my priests moving into good positions, etc., etc. Now the Hojo. You guys ready to... you know what? I can't even blame you for doing that. I did just leave a whole bunch of completely useless boats sitting around purely to spy on the enemy. So, fair enough. You could just have those back, I guess. And hello, Sexy. I think the Chosokabe might be wise to my plan. Because I definitely just saw troop movement there. Still, on the plus side, we've mastered, yes, the +1 loyalty tack. I'm not sure about the sumo tournament, though. Yeah, potentially I'd rather have... then again, in part, what that is just... yeah, trade income. At the highest level of farm. That's got to be worth more to me, yes. Okay, step one, just keep getting my spy missionaries ashore. That is... ooh. Couple of slightly battered ships. Can I maybe, yeah, create a force that could deal with those guys? Gosh darn it, those Hojo ships are going to be irritating to deal with. But okay. Send you around here as well. I think, okay, there we go. Now we've got visibility of some flipping troops here. That is the main Chosokabe army. Their economy's not great, and that's an expensive army. Ridiculous numbers of samurai and whatnot. But that army could get round to Sanuki in one turn. So that's not ideal, in a way. And it's about to be winter, so, you know what? We're not going to launch this invasion right now. We're going to wait till spring. If only because, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some actual decent troops together to form that secondary army to attack Io. I'm going to say, deploy, yeah, my backup army round here just to mop up the flipping dregs of the Hojo. No need to bother fighting that one or even capturing any ships, just sink them. That is fine. But yeah. I think most of the Hojo ships have now been chased off pretty effectively. Because, okay. There's one group there. Maybe I should leave, yeah, just one European ship with a bunch of platforms round about here. just to guard this important pass. Yeah, you know what? That's what we're going to do. So just to break off one ship here and leave you guys one European ship. So that's just going to make sure the Hojo don't do anything else silly. This force, however, with another European ship, that can just head straight back northwards. You guys are, yes, recent captives. That's just to get you back to port so we can fix you up, though. Okay, what I've not done here, and this is a bit of an oversight, is build up a bank. Because going into Realm Divide, you want to have a bit of a bank to fall back on, because, yeah, everyone's going to stop trading with you. With the possible exception of the Iko-Iki, because they hate the Shogunate, unlike, you know, everybody else. So, maybe they don't go to war with you, I'm not sure. And yeah, let's just get my main forces coming back too. We can just chase off of the Takeda, deal with them. Honestly, yeah, Takeda's probably not got much of a navy, so we don't need to worry too much about any of that. So yeah, just to sink them and keep this boat coming in this direction. No one seems to be on this trade node for now, but I don't really want to be bothering with that. Then we've got, yeah, more ships are coming in here. That's fine. You just make your way over to a military port, like we were saying. But yeah, maybe what we should do is pull together more of an army before we actually jump into war here. And yeah, that secondary fleet we captured elsewhere, you just come here to escort these Portuguese troops over the water. That's fine. Everyone else just start drawing up. This is going to be a bit of an all-over-the-place army. Plenty of Ashigaru and whatnot, but it'll still do the flipping job. Don't forget to repair all the boats, by the way. That is fine. So, okay. We've got all of you. We've also got... Hang on. Where have we got a general? You, sir. My son and heir. You should probably, yes, mosey downwards with these bow samurai that you got from somewhere or another. Join up with this army and lead them. That's fine. You see, the problem we've got here in a way is I've now got too much navy. Like, your navy upkeep should not be the same as your army upkeep. That's ridiculous. So, yeah. We might need to, like, you know, break down some of the smaller, more insignificant boats. Especially once we've officially eliminated the Chosokabe. Then we just have one fleet guarding the north, one fleet guarding the south, one fleet guarding, yeah, this crucial junction by Shikoku. And then probably that's about all we want. Aside from, you know, one more force guarding the central port. Not that the central port needs defending once Realm Divide happens, because there'll probably be no one to trade with anymore, but, you know, still. Also, John, seriously, given what you were just saying, how about you just scupper all of them? Like, there we go, that's much better. There are, yes, a lot of flipping boats that do not need to be floating around right now. So, yeah, you just get down over here as well. You were captured at some point, I think. I've kind of lost track of which navy's which at this point. But this is too many boats. Especially now, yeah, the Hojo have been mostly taken care of. But what I want to see more than anything is, yeah, what precisely the flipping Chosokabe are doing. Where are they going to put their primary army? Because they can't defend everywhere. Though hilariously, despite having, yes, far too many boats everywhere, the one place they don't have any boats is where the remnants of the Hojo Navy are. So they've just got these boats floating around here, which is very irritating. So, okay. Just train a handful more experienced boats from this good military port. We'll deal with them very soon, I promise. And yeah, we should still be seeing some improvements in the economy, because not every farming upgrade is done yet. Though, to be honest, most of them are, though. John! Do not forget, you just cocking burnt down some churches over in your economic heartland. So, okay. The best way to make money after a market, because obviously you can't just have multiple markets, which is a shame, but what can you do, is probably the sake dana, which isn't brilliant, but it's better than nothing and would let me get out, yeah, more ninjas. So okay, keep on keeping on and keep a very, very close eye on the Chosokabe armies. My missionaries can figure out precisely where these guys are and where they're going. Okay, for the Chosokabe, I'm seeing their fleets are moving away, and I think I saw their armies going eastwards. So, okay, the eastern coast. Meaning, oh, okay, possibly some trade just became available that previously we'd lost. Good. Good. Yeah, be careful, there's... Oh dear! Well, this isn't what I wanted to see, though... Hilariously, that pirate force is actually mainly made up of trade ships. And only one actual proper ship, so... I could probably win that, you know. Literally all I need to do is, yeah, keep these two ships at a distance, and then hit the actual main ship with fire arrows over and over and over again. These guys have got, like, you know, some archers, but it's not really their job. They're just traitors, so... keep them towards the rear, doing just like a little bit of light fire and whatnot. But yeah, possibly my flipping bow platforms might be able to do this just with superior speed and fire arrows. Especially if, yeah, we could use the islands here to just slightly funnel the enemy into a straight line. So, okay. Get you guys over to here. You're attacking me. You guys just fall back a bit into this sort of a position. That's fine. You guys get over to here or thereabouts. But yes, this is a really weird fight because basically we've got a fleet that's made up of mostly not fighting ships taking on another fleet that's mainly not fighting ships. Right, step one, activate flaming arrows and just jab. Open a fire on the main ship. Set it on a fire, damage them a bit, and then start cocking running. Just don't let them board me. We should be fine, and that's all we really need to do. So yeah, just get over to here, attack you, and then pull away. Just keep a distance because we are faster than this guy. So that's all we need to worry about. Just getting over here. Hit you with... Guys. I just told you to use flaming arrows. What are we even doing here? And I'm going to need my own trade ships to lay down small amounts of actual fire, I suppose. So, okay, for some reason, they just decided they didn't feel like it. Possibly it wore off before they were able to get a shot off, which is annoying. We will get another one momentarily. So, let's get round over here. Loop around, etc., etc. They're already taking some damage. Right. Open a fire, but this time, do it properly, please. Like, if we can set... No, not that one. We don't want you to be on a fire. Okay, someone's, like, flipping and blocking them. So, yeah, just to put some fire on them. They're now kind of getting stuck behind their own ships, which is brilliant news, actually. And then, yeah, just to start moseying in this direction. So, a lot of ships currently on a fire. My own trade ships can just sort of stay at the back and provide some amounts of covering of fire. This is a very silly fight. Oh gosh darn it, you useless bastards. One of my bow platforms is routing just because they're under attack from these cocky trade ships. So, right. Their main ship appears to just be naffing off and possibly is now stuck over there because he's now stuck upwind and whatnot. So... I guess we just sort of, yes, send my trade ships against their trade ships, and also set their ships on fire occasionally if the opportunity presents itself, and all my ships that are actually ships have now broken, so... This is a very silly fight. What the cock is going on here? Gosh darn it, their medium ship just naffed off in order to, yes, go and repair himself so he wasn't on fire anymore. Meaning, he's now coming back... My ships are just naffing off. He's just shooting that guy on the way out, so... Okay, I suspect in a very, very slow and boring fight, we are tragically going to lose this one. Okay, guys, I think it's time to just, withdraw. All units, please withdraw. If we're lucky, they won't be able to catch up with us this turn, and maybe we can get some reinforcements down to assist you. Luckily, though, yeah, we didn't really actually lose anything. So, okay. My ships just pull away. They are going to start taking attrition, and right, you've just naffed off a bit, and Yari cavalry's done. Beautiful. Hilariously, yes, we don't actually have, like, a harbour downer here, so... Send these guys up towards this harbour. We'll fix them up and get them some new recruits next turn. So, yes, no matter how many times I say, oh yeah, we've got way too many flipping boats, they never seem to be where I actually need them to be. As for the Chosokabe, right. Most of their army is definitely right here at this point. And they've also got Metsukes on the move, so, okay. I feel like you're planning to, yes, arrest this guy, potentially. You know what? Try and convert them. Sure, why not? It's probably not going to work, but it gets you some experience, so that's fine. And speak to the devil, he literally just leveled up after doing it. Here we go, you can just have a bit of extra zeal when converting provinces. Beautiful. And yeah, just getting ready to be focusing on inciting unrest. And yeah, just check every single road and whatnot. Let's just be sure there's no more armies hidden away. Yeah, I think for whatever reason, the Chosokabe just don't have that much. So, okay. They could potentially be a nice, soft, easy first target. Aside from the problem that, yes, from here, could you guys get to Sanuki in one turn? I reckon you probably could, which is not ideal. So, right, in which case, what's guarding Io? Some stuff, but not that much. Yeah, you're kind of spreading out your armies, so I can't as easily take anything. Still, get this navy that's escorting some troops to just start moving towards Aki. Because, yeah, you've got 3 troops there. Beyond that, we have got, hang about, you guys just all join forces at the port, please. And so, reasonable if unspectacular army, but Yari cavalry coming in tow. So, right, add that to you. Right, I think altogether that would make 18, which is decent, if not spectacular. So, tell you what, 2 bonus morale Yari Ashigaru, that's not so bad. So yeah, we put you in that boat, you go over here, and you can just invade this territory. Right now, that territory is being a bit guarded by the fleets, but that's fine, and we can definitely either destroy them or chase them off. So yeah, you just keep coming back in this direction, though it will take you a few turns to get where we want you to be. And you guys who I captured, you could just be scuppered, actually, because the economy's already looking a little bit on the flimsy side, and we've not even started doing realm divide yet. Though, when we start taking Chosokabe territory, obviously, we'll gain the benefits of that territory, so that will help at least a little bit. Also, just out of interest, where did that tiny Hojo fleet go? Because I know you're around here somewhere. I don't like the fact that I don't know where you are, so hang on. We've got you here. Are they hanging out right here? Nearby to Io? Because if so, got you, you stupid bastards. So, right. Chase those guys off a little bit. Let's hunt them down. I do not want you guys around here, please. Okay, I can block their escape with this small fleet here, so they can't just get away in that direction. And if they try and attack that small fleet, these guys will come in to back them up. So, that'll be fine. Okay, you're now trapped. There's nothing you could do. And this force, meanwhile, yeah, moves into the position we were planning for them to be in all along. So keep an eye on the trade route, because thanks to the non-existent Date trade, we can see everything that's going along all the way up in that direction, which will let us know if any Hojo fleets are coming. Still, what we do have now is 2 armies ready to go, packed up in boats, so yeah, they can basically invade anywhere we want them to, as long as we have control of the seas. And that shouldn't be too difficult to arrange, in a situation where, yeah, all the Chosokabe have got is a couple of very badly damaged fleets, who appear to be hanging out together for the time being. Still, keep your eyes open. This, in theory, could be the moment. And there we go. I think they just arrested my missionary, which is fine. You guys have just gone over here and then done a little dance outside my port, which you do a lot, so that's fine. I'm not really worried about that. You guys, however, need to deal with when a realm divide kicks off, because you could potentially be trouble. And gosh darn it, the pirates came back to attack me again. Can we just retreat again, please? Just leave me alone for 2 minutes, okay? I'm just an innocent little trade convoy. Also, it turns out I did have a port here, so, okay. You guys could get fixed up. That's fine. Also, you can have another ship to add to your number, because there are a fair few pirates floating around. I think I've got more reinforcements coming in too. Not too far, though, because, yeah, you may need to retreat until you can group up with them. So, okay, economy's looking a tiny bit on the squiffy side at the minute, but... okay. We can still see this is where your troops are. And we now know where your fleets are. Can we get, yeah, any more? Oh, hang on. Okay, there's just a, Hojo Navy here. Well, obviously we need to deal with that, given, yeah, she might be a problem otherwise, though. Why am I taking attrition? Like, I own this territory. These are my cocking waters. Right, just murder these idiots who we've caught up with. That's fine. No need to fight that one. That's a-okay, though. That was more casualties than we needed, but whatever. Still, we get a trade ship out of it. So, okay, send the trade ship to join up with all my other traders. That is fine. And yeah, you just start moseying home. Though I don't think we really need you in order to actually kick off the war. Because the Chosokabe have just sort of, yeah, decided they're going to be here for whatever reason. So we've got, yeah, 2 ships, 1 per fleet. We don't know precisely what you guys have got, but we know plenty of it is pretty badly wounded. We do also have, yeah, a tertiary fleet floating around nearby, if that's necessary, though. Okay, before we do that, you just need to go away, because you're annoying me. And yes, make it a night attack, because I don't want anyone else getting involved. Right, they're dead, defeated, captured, etc., etc. Good, 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 good. And that means, yeah, we can deploy the useless ships I don't like back around over here, just to keep a better eye on the Chosokabe. Oh, and I've got some good news here. The Hojo will be willing to make peace and re-establish trade. Now, I know we're going to be going to war with them, you know, in a few turns anyway, but a few turns of Hojo trade and not having to worry about their stupid fleets. That might be worthwhile. Like, I feel like we proved our point with these guys. Their fleets are now very, very much dead. Whatever's left cannot stand up to us. They won't pay for it, but yeah, I consider this a good deal for me. So while we're dealing with Chosokabe, we don't need to be worrying about the Hojo. Could we do the same thing to, yes, the Takeda, by the way? Not that they really matter at all at this point. Nope, they've not been anywhere near as battered, so they're not as willing to give up. So, fair enough. Honestly, they do not worry me. That's fine. But yeah, here we go. Chosokabe, I think this is the moment. Let's make this happen. So, let's do this step by step here. My principal army cannot get into Sanuki and attack it this turn. However, if I were to land my troops right here on the road between Awa and Sanuki, then yeah, they would come out to fight me. And I would love for them to flipping try. Playing defensively would be amazing. So yeah, I feel like that is what we want to do. Drop my troops right here. If they come out and fight, I get to be the defender. If they don't, I get to walk into Sanuki. So, right. You are just going to chill out right there, blocking this here road. Step the next to just load up army number 2. Nowhere near as good an army, I'll admit, but it can still very much get the job done. So you guys are being, yeah, dropped off right here outside of Io. There's a small force here. We may possibly, depending on, yeah, how tough it is, decide to siege those guys out rather than anything else. Then there's the big one. The Chosokabe Navy that's just floating around right here. The nice thing is, I'm hoping we could basically, yeah, just stop them from escaping or whatnot. So, yeah, if we just bring our forces into here, and then bring you into here, my friend, Is that close enough? That feels like that wasn't close enough. I need you to be just a little bit closer, if you wouldn't mind, because... Okay, you get into there, and then... Okay, well now, technically, it's 1v2. Except it's a 1v2, which, yes, the game seems to think, oh yeah, potentially I could just win anyway. So, you know what we could do, of course? Given I can only get one fleet in because of zone of control, I could just move both of my vessels, like the European big ships, into one flipping fleet. Especially given apparently, yes, now I've retreated, this guy would be in range of the secondary attack. So, okay, honestly, that's fine too. There we go. That's better. And yeah, the problem they've got is that both of these forces are actually, yeah, about a quarter trade ships, who are functionally contributing nothing. So okay, we start down here. We've got reinforcements coming in from this direction. They're to the north of us, and yeah, logically, their reinforcements will be coming in from the north as well. Do I want to use these islands to make sure that, yeah, they can't, like, you know, flank me or get around me particularly easily? Honestly, yeah, I think that would actually be a pretty good idea. So, yeah, we can just put my boat, like, here-ish. Then we can just have you guys guarding the narrow strait with fire arrows or whatnot. That's A-okay. And then, yeah, my reinforcements will come in. They can just come and join up. I am fine with that. So, yeah, we're going to have the second fleet moving in. That's A-okay, though. We're playing it by, yes, larger fleet rules, aren't we? Where only a certain number of boats are allowed to be in at any one time. 100% that's what we're doing. Okay, fine, I'd forgotten how the reinforcing rules for, yes, Naval Fights and Shogun 2 were working. I thought we were going to have, you know, a gigantic fight where everyone got to be involved. But apparently, yes, it's going to be, dribs and drabs instead. But you know what? This is going to work very much in my favour, actually, because this means, as I scare off one of their boats and they flee, one and only one new boat will enter the field. So, yeah, this is going to work out just fine. And speaking of which, the secondary fleet appears to have a bit of a death wish here, which is they've just sort of decided they're not going to wait for the primary fleet to come in or anything like that. Oh, no. No. They're just doing this on their own. They just decided they're YOLOing this. So, I mean, good luck, guys. Like, you know, 2 ships versus 10. And I've got fire arrows and also a European trade ship that could just destroy you. So, okay, this is a fascinating choice you guys have made. Well done. Right, everybody activate fire arrows, because why not, quite frankly. Those will recharge in no time whatsoever. You, meanwhile, are just turning around. A bit on the slow side, but that's fine. Yes, you will be set on fire and basically dealt with in no time whatsoever. Like, I can see what they're doing. They're just trying to get straight up to my big ship, etc., etc. But it does just mean they're going to be immediately broadsided and then set on fire and... I mean, that was a good ramming action. Well done, sir. So, okay, one ship has fled. The other has surrendered. Now, as a result, 2 more ships are coming in, and they are also going to YOLO charge. So, oh, Chosokabe, you cocking naval geniuses. Well, you know what? As I'm sure many a Total War loading screen has said over the years, never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. So yeah, just let them come. We hit them with cannon fire. Everyone else activates fire arrows. By the time they've made it up to my ship, they've basically already routed, and off they go to be replaced by the next 2 ships. So, it's just like a beautiful naval conveyor belt of death. I love it. Okay, and the genius tactics are just continuing, by the way, which is... the principal navy appears to have realised something's gone a bit wrong with their reinforcements. But their response is to send one and only one ship forward, and it's the trade ship. The ship that literally can't fight. That's the one they decided to go and investigate why none of their reinforcements have shown up, and also why there's suddenly a lot of, you know, smoke and whatnot in the air. You've got to say, in many Total War games across the years, there have been many instances of a mismatched fight. You know, a ridiculously strong unit taking on a ridiculously weak one. But honestly, a Nanban trade ship fighting a regular trade ship. That might be the new champion, actually, yes. Oh, hang on. Everybody's suddenly woken up, so, right. Finally, the main fleet is on its way. But it is also, like, you know, slightly damaged to bow units. Though, I will give them, I did get a bit complacent, and as a result, my European ship is not in the best position. So, yeah, at this point, honestly, you guys just charge forward, provide some cover for the European trade ship while it just gets into a better position at the rear. Just, yeah, shooting at one surrendered vessel, hitting this guy too, one more medium boon. But, yeah, it would appear that you guys don't have fire arrows. You're literally the archer faction. That's like your one job. But okay, for whatever reason, yes, they don't appear to actually, like, have fire arrows. So, that gives you a pretty big advantage when it comes to naval combat. Absolutely. So some of their ships have caught fire and immediately surrendered. We just need to, yes, turn around, get some distance, get my ship to turn around to give them the other broadside too. But yes, you appear to be in, some trouble, my friends. Just focus fire on you. More reinforcements coming in from that direction, but honestly, it's a little bit on the late side now. You guys need to run away from, yeah, the bigger ships over here. These are the only ones that pose any threat whatsoever, because if they board my bow platforms, that could be an issue. Also, stop getting stuck on other ships, please. No getting stuck. But yeah, we're basically ready for more flaming arrows. So yeah, set you on fire. You guys come round here. You set this guy on fire. Don't worry about the trade ship. He's functionally irrelevant. And I love the flame effects in this game. The flame effects in this game are very good. So yes, at this point, everyone's in a spot of difficulty. You guys are not happy about life, etc., etc. And you're too slow to do anything. And this guy is just going to keep doing donuts in the ocean in order to slowly but surely wear them down with cannon fire. There's just nothing they can do. Like, the AI acknowledges that the European trade ship is the problem, and therefore that needs to be the focus. They need to get it down. But they just don't have the hitting power or firepower to do anything about it. Unless, of course, they've got fire arrows. Which, once again, somehow, the Chosokabe don't. Anyway, we're down to the dregs at this point, so focus on you. Fire arrows, please. So, yeah, once they start being on fire and also hit by cannons, they will functionally give up. And, oh yeah, just look at that. That's a thing of beauty. Right there. A ship on a fire, and then more on a fire, and then here comes some cocky cannon shots as well. So right, they've just immediately surrendered. Spot on. And yes, ideally I'd like nothing to get away. So I'm sending my fast ships to board the routing vessel. So basically they just immediately fully surrender. Not because I really want these ships, I'll probably break them down. I just want them to not get away, and thus need to be taken care of another day. But I think this is it. The sea is now just, yes, covered in flaming surrender vessels, and hilariously, the last ship standing was, yes, a cocky trade ship. Well done to those guys, that is a ballsy of you. And though, gosh darn it, I think the same thing has happened again, which is, yeah, reinforcement fleets you just don't seem to be able to capture out of, even if they do surrender. So bare minimum, the principal fleet should have been completely destroyed. What about that secondary fleet, though? Right, you might need to be chased down. Luckily, my reinforcement fleet, that wasn't even needed, could go and do that right flipping now. So, right. With that done, that should be, yeah, the Chosokabe just dealt with. Happy to auto-resolve that one. That's A-okay. So, yeah, we've captured a few ships, and most importantly, the trade vessels. Everything else, bottom of the sea. So, okay, unless I've missed something, that is the Chosokabe Navy completely destroyed. And we've got eyes on all their ports, so we will know if any more comes in. The only question now is, yes, what's their principal army down here in an hour going to do? Because they might come out to attack me, but equally, it's not actually the strongest army going. In terms of numbers, yeah, it's not great. They might decide their best bet is just to hunker down here and wait for me to come to them. So okay, it's time to flip in and find out. And by the looks of it, I'm seeing a Metsuke's moving. But is the army planning to come and deal with me? And okay, right now they're just dealing with my, you know, spy missionaries. That's perfectly reasonable, absolutely. And okay, a small army is moving. Oh. Okay, they've decided not to engage directly. Instead, one of them is just, yeah, desperately moving, possibly towards Io. Because, in all fairness, that's actually a good move. Io is still somewhat defended, and it's where my weaker army is. Potentially, that could cause issues. And hilariously, they were not able to arrest this guy at all, which I absolutely love. So, okay. Io is now actually pretty well guarded, all things considered. It's possible, yeah, the smarter move may be just moving south towards Tosa. But on the other hand, hang on, I just use my priest to scout out the local area. Then we've got this guy. Decent number of samurai, etc, etc. But because he's moved in this direction, and to be honest, yeah, as I say, sensible call. This army is by far the weaker. This one over here is now free to attack either of these settlements. It could just take anything round here, so... okay. It's a decent start, but sooner or later we do need to take out their principal army. And that army is not a cocky joke. Still, I would say with our armies officially now on Shikoku, how about we call it a punt there? But next time, okay, it's time to wipe out the Chosokabe. The question is, yeah, where and how are we going to take out their principal army? And more importantly, yes, when exactly is Realm Divide going to trigger? Because we're acclaimed now, the final stage before Realm Divide, but the bar isn't quite filled up, so we might be able to get away with a tiny bit of warmongering on Shikoku before the Shogunate completely loses its patience. So yes indeed, we've got some big fights coming up next episode, so hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the delightful Shogun 2 Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This guy's enjoying that. This guy's enjoying his elephant a bit too much.
Oh my god.
In Fair Verona, we set our scene. Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. They've managed to glitch inside one of the buildings. Elephants in the rear! And then in come the chariots!